Welcome to the StockManager.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stock manager, Brian Johnson, and I'm making professional trading simple. And sideways movement in the markets today, not unexpected. I did mention I would not be surprised to see a consolidation day. We did see a consolidation day, so hence I was not surprised at what we saw today. Very common. You see a big move like this, very common to see a little rest day, quote unquote, a little consolidation day. So where does that put us? Well, it puts the indices in kind of a high base formation, especially on the Dow. And the Dow has looked basically the strongest of the three indices when it comes to a technical standpoint. They have looked the strongest here, and you can see it in kind of a high base on the 60-minute. As it moves sideways, maybe we see it hit this line here and then bounce to the upside. Maybe it hits maybe it breaks through this line and comes to the 20 before it finds support and moves to the upside. A break of this line here and a move down could have us testing, especially below the 10,200 area, could have us testing the 20 and or this area back in here again before we see a pause or a break in the action. If we look at the Dow from a daily, you can see we are pretty stretched up here, but that's common to what we've seen kind of over the last few days. You can see us on this move here, hard move to the upside, back down, hard move to the upside, couple of pause days here, then some more moves to the upside, hard move to the upside, couple of pause days, hard move to the upside, all retesting the top of this channel. So that might be what we see here. Maybe we see a big move up, couple days to the side, and then another move up late in the week. That could very well happen, and then retest the top side of this channel line for the Dow. At that point, that is actually a very defensible short position. You can see here where we've touched it, touched it, touched it, touched it. So this upper line has acted very well as resistance. So if we can get all the way back up there again, if you're looking to get in short, that's certainly a place that would be very manageable to take some short positions way up here at the top of that. The NASDAQ on a 60-minute, you can see it come up, come back down, move back up, really basically sideways all day long, but from a daily standpoint, did not break the highs. Now the Dow has broken the highs, the NASDAQ has not. It's back up to a double topping area here with still no pullback or sizable pullback at all on the view. From a daily standpoint, you can see we are once again getting kind of stretched, but that doesn't mean we can't consolidate sideways. That would be bullish behavior. Maybe push up. I did add a trend line here, and this would be the most logical place for us to go. When we break this, we'd go to about the 1800 area, which would also coincide with the weekly. And you can see if we continue up, this is where the next resistance area would be, and that is about 1800 on the weekly, coinciding with the daily and its trend line. Logical place here at 1773 to stop for the day. That is a 61.8% retrace of the entire bear market for the NASDAQ. SPX on a 60-minute. You can see these lines I drew in here. Very, very steep angle here, but still moving sideways. Once again, maybe we see a push right into here. So it might take another few hours. Maybe it's Wednesday afternoon before we see something, and then maybe we get a pop. Now notice how it has not retested its highs. So the Dow's the strongest, the NASDAQ in the middle, and the S&P bringing up the rear here. You can see where the NASDAQ is at least back to its highs. S&P is not. A break of 1095, 96 area, I see no reason why it won't retest this 1109 to 1101 area up in here. Maybe even a little push above that as well, depending on what kind of market action or price action we see when we get up to the 1100 area. A lot of people are thinking, major reversal area at 1100. That might not be the case. What better way to fool the bears than to, sell a bunch of or buy buy a bunch of stock down here if you're big money. Buy a bunch of stock down here to those that are front running this 1100 area. Take it up to 1100. Use your clout and all your big money to bust through the 1100 area, and then as the bears scramble to get back in to the long side, they're going to want to buy. Well, guess who wants to sell? All the guys that bought back here. So maybe big money. I mean, it's just a great trick. You buy a bunch of stocks down here, you push it up, you use your clout to push it through 1100. You get the little guy thinking, oh, I got to get in long. He gets in long, and he's going to have to buy it from someone. Well, why not buy it from the big money that was buying it down here? So now they sell it up here. They make their profit, and eventually the little guy probably gets stuck as it reverses and goes the other way. Sneaky, sneaky markets. Anyway, just one idea of what could happen. We could also crash tomorrow and drop 80 points. You just don't know. Let the charts tell you what to do, and that means let it get above these resistance areas before you start looking at your long positions, or break below, break past this line and the 20 before you get your short positions out. SPX on a daily, I changed these lines in through here, made this one a little bit thinner. It's kind of out of the action right now, but this orange one, it was gray, is back in it. So when my kid was a little boy, he used to call it orange. So here you go. Here's a little orange line that has worked very well as support and resistance, and now it's working well once again as resistance on the way back up. So if it breaks above this, gets above that 1100 area, then we'll probably once again see some bears cover, and that'll bring all the bulls to the yard. So we are looking at a pretty stretched motion here, but once again, no different than what we've seen here. Stretch it up, move it sideways, move it up some more. Stretch it up, maybe move it sideways, maybe move it up some more. Don't know if we make this upper trend line, but if we do, that's got to be right around the 1120, 1125 area right now. I've heard that number thrown out by a couple of people. SPX on a weekly. If we continue up, this is another reason that we may see another harder move up. Maybe if the markets move up and above 1100 and push hard to the upside, the test of this of the underside of this trend line would be the most logical, and that's right around that 1125 area as well. So it's still Tuesday, but if we're looking longer term, especially if things take off tomorrow for some reason, this is where I would be looking for some resistance, is right up here at this trend line. That's a break of a wedge and a retest of it from underneath. The VIX still continues to kind of trickle its way downwards. Markets move up, this thing will end up seeing this. And from a weekly standpoint, markets move up. I'm looking at the dotted line, and this support line to hold as it comes back down into these areas. So once again, markets move up. This is what we'll probably see on the VIX. Apple on a 60-minute, straight move up.